Good evening, Kingdom Youth. Welcome back to the next segment. And today I'm Okona Masala, and I'm here with Ambassador Lindy. And today we'll be talking about mental health during exams. So, Lindy, may you please tell us what is mental health?
Thank you so much for having me. Mental health refers to someone's psychological, emotional, and social being. So it encompasses how we think, how we react to certain situations, how we behave under stress, certain choices that we make. It just contributes to like our day-to-day living. Sometimes it even contributes to your spiritual life, like your spirituality and all of that. So mental health, it's really integrated in our lives. That's what mental health is.
Yeah. So, how did you go through and how did you cope with your mental health during exams and you were in matric, the prelims and finals, knowing that, like, even in grade 11, knowing that your marks that we were going to apply for universities and stuff? How did you cope with all that stress? Not stress, but let's call it stress. How did you cope with that during your whole high school career?
Okay, so my mental health started going downhill after COVID. Like, my mental health was so bad. It was in shambles. I spent like 3 years having severe anxiety. Like, I was so scared of the school gate. I didn't want to go inside the school gate. I didn't want to know who's inside the school gate. I just wanted to be at home in my bed. So, coming from someone who really understands how crippling mental health is and anxiety and all of that, for me, like, I did do a lot of research in terms of what am I supposed to do to take care of my mental health? What am I supposed? But I honestly just needed someone who's my peer to tell me, like someone who is my age, to tell me, okay, you know, I'm going through the same thing. And to be honest, I don't even know what to do. So that's what I needed. And for me, the biggest thing was just communicating with my peers, like someone who has been through what I've been through. Grade 11, you know, it's so stressful knowing that those marks are the marks that you're going to need to get into varsity. Like, my future is really in my hands, and it's just in my small hands. Like, what is going on? So someone to tell me, someone who was in matric, someone who made it out of high school, to be like, you know what, it does get better. Like, you might not see it now, but in actual fact, it does get better. So just communicating my feelings with the trust, with a loved one, and in my mental health in high school is different from my mental health now, because ever since high school, now I've gotten to know God and relationship with God, so now I know to go to him first. So certain things are just easier when you have a relationship with God, when you've maintained a relationship with God, when you know that you can go to him. He's even better than going to like a normal human being, because sometimes us human beings can lead each other astray. So yeah, that's how I dealt with my mental health.
Yeah. So also for me, for my mental health and most of the people I'm around, like my peers and people in my school, some people and people that I know, some people have they stressing about their marks and they're stressing about their relationship with their friends. Like, did I make her mad today? And then, like, you spend so much time, like, texting your friend, like, are you fine? Are you fine? The whole time, you're like, no, I'll study when she answers, wara, wara, wara. Then she doesn't answer you. Then you end up going the whole night, not studied, because you're waiting for that friend that you made upset for that day, waiting for them to respond, and then you that also for me, it also has an impact on your mental health and your mental well-being. So for you, was there anything that you feel was a big something that really was a huge influence to your mental health during high school
In a good or bad way?
in a bad way?
Okay, comparing myself was one of them, because like it was the thing of, hey, that girl who's in top 3, who's in top 10 every single term, I want to get there. So putting unnecessary pressure on myself because I'm comparing myself to other people. And the Bible talks about how comparison is the killer of joy, right? So for me, something that contributed like very bad to my mental health was comparing myself to other people. Another thing was not communicating. So the kind of person that I am, and God is helping me through this, but the kind of person that I am, I bottle things up. So I bottled things up until I couldn't bottle things up anymore. I literally just burned out. Like, I just exploded it was so bad, Okona, that those are like one of the things that contributed to negatively to my mental health. Yeah.
Yeah, that does brings you down. So, and like, what was good? What positively affected you during your exams and your studying and the whole preparation for exams?
In high school, what really helped me was the phrase, it's not that deep. Like, it's never that deep. You really don't have to lose sleep over it. It is not that deep, right? Sometimes I'd be studying, and then, like, I'm studying and I'm practicing this math problem, and it's trapping me left, right, and center. And I'm just like, you know what? It's not that deep. I shouldn't lose sleep over something this minute, quote unquote, because even the Bible talks about it, says, do not worry about these things, right? And we shouldn't really worry about these things. Like, it's not that deep. Just because you're not going to be able to get 5 out of 5 for that specific math problem doesn't mean you're going to fail the whole exam. So that's something that helped me in high school. But then outside of high school, like my first year, my second year, like I'm doing now, what has helped me is my relationship with God. Being able to go to God and just say, you know what, God, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. Just lead me. Take me to wherever you want to go. Because at this point, everything is in your hands. That's something that's really helped me. Being able to come to God with all my burdens, all my problems, all my emotions. Being able to know that I don't have to deal with it alone. Yeah. What has helped you?
For me, I feel like doing like being around people and not just sitting alone. Because for me, when I'm alone, I feel like all like different thoughts come to my mind. I'm like, yo, like if I don't pass this is the consequences. Like you do that whole thing, and then for me, what I do is like being around people, having fun, but not like having fun, but just like coming to church like during the week, like the prayers and stuff, and doing things, not just sitting the whole time, sitting on the chair, saying that I'm gonna make sure that I study literally from the moment I wake up till the moment I sleep, cause that's what like drains me. Like it's good, well done if you can do that, but like for me, it's very hard to sit down for such a long time and not say anything. So for me, also having small breaks, interacting with people, and not just sitting alone, and not interacting to people online, just like having a conversation with someone and like talking to someone also helped me. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. It's nice to hear that.
Yes. So, what do you do when you're studying and then you realize that, like, a lot of thoughts just come to your mind? Like, you just feel like you're worthless and, like, you feel you don't feel okay. What do you do in that situation when you know you have a big test tomorrow that you have to pass to make sure, and like let's say you've been failing term 1, you failed, for example, you failed math. What do you do when you start getting, like, when fear comes to you, and like when you're studying for a test, what do you do?
Well, as someone who actually failed maths this one term, it was so bad. As someone who actually failed maths, I completely understand how it feels to feel worthless. Like, a little bit of a backstory. I got 6 in the test, and then on the report I got 12%.
Wow.
So then, you know
Wait,
what?
Lindy.
Don't judge me.
No. Wow.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Because I thought, because, like, also for me, sorry, ne, when you were saying the comparing yourself, ne, also me, I used to compare myself to grade 8 and I'm in grade 9. That's when I'm like, okay, it's fine now. So when you're saying you got 12 for your thing, I actually got 19. And what's crazy, it was last term
That's
for my
wild.
math. Yes. So like these things, like the question I'm asking now is because me as a person, and I know most of people could be struggling with this. How do you cope with it? Yeah.
Yeah, how do you cope with failing? You just get up. Like, I know it's a cliche thing to say. They always say, get up, dust yourself, and continue. Sometimes when you're in the moment, you can't get up. You don't see yourself getting up. Like, how do you come back from a 12%? Like, but then you just have to just get up, dust yourself, and understand that you're not in that position for no reason. Like, everything happens for a reason. So that 12% has contributed to me now starting to become a forensic psychologist. Who would have known that's what was going to happen? So sometimes we need 12%. And those 12%, when they come, take them and use them to your own advantage. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, Lindy. It's like, it's so good to know that you can talk to other people about mental health and during exams and all these things, because you will never know, like, you always think that you're struggling alone and everything. So, like, it's a lot. And we thank God really for the space that He has given us to also talk about it, because we're human and we will always have, like, we're all not perfect. So for my last question is, what do you do if, like, you feel like you prayed, like you fasted and prayed, and like you were the whole time, you did all night prayers, fasted 24 hours, water 30 days, and you studied but not enough, but you were like praying a lot, but you didn't do enough studying. Then what should you do in that situation? Because I know some people turn and say, oh, it's God. Did God do this to me? Because I spoke to Him and I prayed and I did all these things. So is this my purpose from God? That's like something maybe some people might say to themselves, because they were praying, fasting, and all these things, and then they still come with this outcome. So what do they do when they reach that deadline?
Well, the Bible talks about how faith without works is dead. So even if you're fasting 24 hours, 30 days, water fast, 1, 2, 3, all those things, you also need to put in as much time into your studying. Like, you can take a donkey to the well, but you can't force it to drink the water. So there's only so much that God can do for us, and He can do the biggest and greatest things. But you also, yourself as a person, need to help yourself. Like, yes, I'm, on a water fast for 30 days, but have I opened my textbook the last 2 hours? Or was I on TikTok trying to maintain my TikTok streak with my friend? So it's those things. I think just understanding that faith without works is dead.
Yes. Thank you so much, Lindy. Thank you so much for answering my questions and the thoughts that come through my mind here and there. Thank you so much. It was really a good time. Thank you so much, youth. Thank you for staying on in this video. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you watching, and I hope you learned a lot, because there was a lot to learn in this session, because you will go far if you continue to trust and believe in God. So as you go out this week, let's continue to know that you can do it, and never stop. Never stop trusting and believing. And as our senior says, look in the mirror, and what you see in that mirror is the change. Thank you.